goal here this morning is to focus on you and your driving. The goal is to see where you're at and if there's any advice that I can give you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I'll leave it all with you. You're an experienced driver. I won't intervene unless I absolutely need to. Okay.
Yeah, that's
all
fine.
Right. Okay, Rich, if you want to set yourself up in the usual way based on what we discussed before. So what we're looking for with that left knee then?
Slight bend.
That's it. And would you say there's a slight bend there? Would you say it's a bit of a stretch?
I'm happy with that bend.
Are you? Because you know to get your foot fully down, just bring that back up. Would you say you've got to move your body a bit to get it firmly to the floor, to get a firm press?
There's a bit of a move.
You just want to eliminate that, because if we eliminate that, it's definitely not a stretch in any form.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pop that down again with the ball of your left foot. That's fine. I understand everybody's going to be slightly different, and you know, if you want a bit more room there, that's fine. I was just thinking as well, you got to think about looking at it for your customers, because they won't know.
Right.
And it's important that you can get it down with some conviction, because they are very soft in the way they press the clutch in the first place. So they'll struggle to. So they'll think they got it. They'll press it. Number one, they'll press it slowly.
Yeah.
And number two, they'll think they're at the floor and they're not. You see.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. And I think if you've got a slight bend, so if it was me driving, that would be me. Personally, but what I can do then is when I'm covering clutch, I get it fully to the floor instantly.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the thinking behind that. All right.
Yeah.
So all I would say with you is, as long as your body doesn't have to move at all to get that down, we should be good. And why should you do your clutch test first then? I think you're showing me now.
Well, so you can reach everything, isn't it? So you can, you know, you don't want to be putting your clutch down then moving your seat, because then you won't be able to put it down. You know, you'll be. Say if I move my seat now after I've set where my clutch is, then it's going to be there, isn't it? If I move it back anymore.
Oh yeah, definitely. What I meant is, so I should rephrase that. What I meant is, basically, if you do all your mirrors, do your steering wheel check and everything else, and then you do your clutch test and you find out the seat's in the wrong place.
I've got to redo it all.
Exactly. Yeah. So first thing you do when you jump in is the clutch test.
Yeah.
And again, when we go through the proper lesson of this, we'll go through the right order and everything, you know.
Yeah. That's about right there. Happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mirrors are fine.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. All right, Rich. When you're ready, we'll drive on and we'll take the next road on the left, please. Turn right, please. Safe place, please. Cheers. All right. Might as well go through a couple of things while we're
Yeah.
before we get too far into it and I forget what's happened. A couple of things there. It might be just because you're moving off. With the actual move off, we need to be using a system called Prepare, Observe, Move. You've seen me go through it before. Any ideas how you could have made that safer and more controlled?
Should have got my clutch set the biter point first.
Yes. So when you used POM, you rolled back, yeah?
Yeah.
So clutch higher, how would you know that you've got it higher one so that when you release handbrake it won't roll back? And so you can check, because you need to know this so you can check your customer, so you can say, oh, are you sure about this?
For slight movement or a slight shaking in the like dashing set.
Yeah. So for example, if I was to demonstrate now, you would see that dash. Yeah, you'd feel it, you'd hear it.
Yeah.
And depending on if you've got gas set already, you'll see that lift slightly.
Yeah.
But you never want it really rumbling, it's too high a bite then. You want it just at that sweet spot where it wouldn't roll back and it's ready to just slowly start rolling forwards. Okay, so when you used POM, you rolled back and it was moving off. Alright. You missed something in terms of safety, something that was really important and is potentially safety critical there. In terms of observation, you checked everywhere else other than it.
Blind spot?
Yeah.
Sure, I looked over my shoulder.
It looked more like it was more the mirror.
Right, okay.
So the blind spot really, moving off from stationary, you want a good look over, yeah?
Yeah.
So at the moment, if you look in your right door mirror,
Yeah.
From a normal natural driving position. Oh no, actually no, because let's say you checked there around that area there, and your head was more there. I bet you can't see the opening to the driveway where the grass is.
No.
You see what I mean? So you just want to have a good turn around there, almost lean it over and just get. And is there a driveway behind that potentially you wouldn't see in your door mirror? Through having a bit of a further blind spot.
There is a bit further down.
Yeah.
Where that red car is, but yeah.
So you just want to be, checking it thoroughly there. So if it was me, I'd be check, back forwards. Apologies if I did miss that, but I'm sure because I saw you have another little mirror check as soon as we got going. That was great. So looking, yeah. Blind spot moving off. And then the other thing is, alright, you tell me what's the danger in missing your blind spot then?
Potentially cyclists coming up on this side, anyone walking or crossing the road.
Yeah, what about cars?
Cars, yeah, overtaking. Obviously because I was still parked on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So anything really that can be going around me.
Okay, we've already talked about so obviously the remedy is remember to check the blind spot. So if I was teaching you now, I would prompt you and he would say, oh, what are you going to remember to check, or go through it that way. Same again, ID, analysing, remedy. Rolling back, what's the danger in rolling back?
Anyone behind that could be crossing the road behind me.
Yeah. If there's a junction, they often do, don't they? Right behind you, cyclists and stuff. Yes, you want to get in the habit of having that every time, that sweet spot, yeah?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? So this is the remedy. We've already done it, haven't we?
Yeah.
You're going to have a higher bite, okay? The other thing is when we got to the T-junction to turn right, what can you tell me about the giveaway lines in your road position?
I was probably slightly a bit forward.
Yes, well done, I'm glad that you know.
Yeah.
What's the correct way to do that?
So when I see the paint under the door mirror.
Yeah. I think it was possibly, and that's when your bonnet's level with but not over.
Yeah.
I think it was possibly a bit quick, as we rolled towards and past and over it.
Okay.
It just felt maybe like you wasn't increasing the brake enough to pause at the line, because you want to pause at the line at the place that you just said, and then edge looking to go.
Yeah.
Don't pause in a position where you're already over and then look, because there could be a cyclist coming past the hedge, because it's quite close to the right,
Yeah.
and they're already close to the end of the junction, aren't they?
Yeah.
For example, that's just one scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, so positioning then, we need to pause at the give way. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then we've talked about some consequences, and we've talked about a solution as well.
Yeah.
And then if it was a learner driver or whatever, you know, maybe I will need to do it with you. We would decide how we're going to fix that.
Okay.
And you know, who's doing what in terms of helping and guidance. All right then, Rich, you all right with that?
Yep.
Next thing I'm going to do then is the angle start. You'll be asked to do one of these on your driving test. So
Yep.
moving out and round this car in front, obviously keeping an eye on what's in front and behind. Okay.
Yep.
So drive on when you're ready. Now here with your bike, you've got to think about your gradient.
Yeah, it's a bit downhill.
Yeah. That's it. Does that feel different checking over the shoulder like that?
Yeah. Just a bit of a better into it.
That's it.
Just go around a bit further.
That's it. So it's just them little differences that'll make a difference. Anyway, I'm going into instructor mode a bit, and I just want to see where you're at really, and just see what advice I can give you. And you can take this sheet away, of course, at the end. To the end, and when you get to the end, could you turn right at the end of the road?
Yeah.
Roundabout, turn right please, second exit. When you reach the next roundabout, turn right, second exit. You'd have room to fit without blocking these to turn to their right?
Maybe, but I'll be a bit close to the bus in front potentially.
I think in those situations it's worth doing it, because these guys behind us may want to turn left.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So the tyres and tarmac thing, yes, that's the thing, but there's nothing's ever set in stone.
Okay.
And we might need to make adjustments based on what we think will be the best thing for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I'd like you to pull up on the left at a safe place, please. Cheers. Okay. Right, just a couple of things there. Again, if I missed these, tell me, but I don't think I did. We had the bus pulled in.
Yep.
So we went to a position where we could consider passing the bus, which was great. But then we moved back in after the bus moved out. No left mirror check.
Okay.
Why would you need a left mirror check? Because you've gone from a normal driving position as you've come down the road to a left of centre line position. The bus has moved back into a normal driving position from a parking position, and you've joined it behind. Why would the left mirror be
Someone
important
could
there?
be coming on the inside, pulling up on the left hand side on the inside of me.
Yep. What's likely to, you say pulling up, what type of vehicles do you think? What type of transport?
Another bus could be coming in.
Could be. What's thinner that could probably get into that gap?
Bike.
In slow moving traffic in the village, yes.
Yeah.
So
Bike.
definitely check for them, because they don't think twice about getting in that gap there.
Right.
And then if we steer without checking, if they're already at the side of us, this one ain't going to show us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got undertaken by one the other day. I was in a hold back position. Let's say I'm holding back before that Volvo there.
Yeah.
And I've left about a car length between me and the Volvo. I'm left a centre line, but I just can't fit, so I'm gone. Just as I've been considering going, just about to go, a cyclist has, so I've been waiting here, a cyclist has gone.
Yeah. Got it in front.
How dangerous. I was just about to move forwards. I seen it, good job I checked, but
Yeah.
do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't think so, we have to think for them.
Yeah.
Every time. So basically, any directional change, we need to check the appropriate mirror first, unless there's a reason why you think it isn't necessary.
Right. Okay.
It might not be necessary, you know. Maybe that's if you're travelling at 30, 35, 40 and you've just done a pass in a car. Well, it might seem a bit silly checking the left mirror to move back in after the car,
Yeah.
because you've already seen what's in front of the car before you've passed it,
Yeah.
unless it's a high vehicle. But then you've got to weigh that up.
Yeah. Okay.
But definitely you'd always check the centre and the right mirror for moving out before the obstruction. We then was approaching the pedestrian crossings.
Yeah.
People stood there. What does that require in terms of the anticipation?
Potentially the lights changing.
So what would that spark you to do?
The mirror.
Yeah. Would you say that you checked it in case the lights change?
No.
Oh, there's somebody there. Was it anything to do with the situation cracking off in front, do you think?
Maybe. I was thinking about the island and obviously the queue in traffic.
Yeah. Yes. Keep the signal still flashing. I know you cancelled it. Keep it still flashing so everybody knows what your intentions are while you're all waiting. And I hope that makes sense about the.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if a right signal was the right one there, because I could have spun round that island.
You can do. It's not advisable on mini roundabouts. It's not best practice, and unless the roundabout's a big mini roundabout, like the one in the only big mini roundabout I can think of is the one in Long Eaton. There's actually 2 lanes on approach to it from a couple of directions. Apart from that, I mean, number one, would you actually be able? Would you have the turning circle to actually do it? I'm not sure. But if you tried and you couldn't, you'd have to reverse. That would be really messy on a roundabout.
Especially a busy one like that.
But people do it, and you're right, it could mean that. But the thing is, and I guess we've got to talk about it now, is, let's cancel that signal. you don't have to signal off of a mini roundabout. If you can do, if you think it's going to be useful, do.
Yeah.
But what it is, you know, when you exited and you did signal and you got it all timely, but to be honest,
I was already off on.
There we go.
My road position was telling me where
You already know.
Where I was going. Yeah.
You're already reading where I'm coming from. Yeah, exactly that. So there's a lot of that goes into that sort of thing, you know.
Okay.
Others, so use common sense with tyres and tarmac, I'll put.
Yeah, pulling up behind that bus.
Yeah, because remember the main aim with this is to make safe but reasonable progress.
Yeah.
And what I mean by progress is getting from A, you know, A to B really efficiently.
Yeah.
And allowing others to do the same, so the roads flow. Fucking get me pen. Yeah. There we go. All making sense, yeah?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So mirrors. So I'll put any directional change. Yeah, I'll put in bracket door mirrors. Door mirror. Anticipate lights changing, people stepping off, if a car's at a driveway with its reverse lights on and it's slowly edging towards the pavement, let's check the mirror in case it don't stop coming, in case it keeps coming.
Stop.
Yeah. So anticipate the probability of slowing down, because it's not just stopping, it's slowing, it's easing off the gas. Because then we can make. So why is it important that we do check the mirror as soon as we see that hazard, the centre mirror, particularly the centre mirror?
Because we just got a look at what's going on behind us in the whole road. So if I did need to stop, and there's a car a bit close, I could potentially just make them aware by just touching my brake. I'm potentially going to be stopping.
Yeah. So if you give a longer signal, give them more time to react.
Yeah.
And the very fact that you check your mirror, you might realise they're not actually paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's about it. Any questions or thoughts from yourself?
Nope.
Happy with these? And,
Yeah,
and are
absolutely.
you happy that you can sort these out going forward? You've got the remedy?
Yeah.
Okay. Drive on when you're ready. Before you get going, then, before you do your observations and before you signal, what we're going to do with these feet, because what gradient are we on, Rich?
Bit of a slope, so I'm going
That's
to
it.
find my biting point. Set my gas.
Good. Look at that. That's quite nice there, isn't it? Good stuff. Well done. So keep doing that. Keep assessing the gradient and prepare for gradient.
Yeah.
How are you finding this style of training, Rich?
Fine, I think. Yeah, just it's all just remembering it, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's good.
Very good there. Not so good from that driver. Did you become invisible?
I must have. I must have got bored of waiting.
So that's the thing as well, when you start driving to the speed limits all the time,
I've noticed that.
you do, yeah, and it's traffic tends to respond slightly different, and again it's a fine art that you have to get your head around and start to adapt to, if you like.
Yeah.
And build that into your, very good, into your anticipation. Yeah, because what might that white car have done?
could have pulled out round that bus.
And they often do, don't they? They'll use that bus as a shield to turn out or something like that. Very good. Loving the block change. Nicely up to speed with the mirrors first. Well done. I'm going to take the next road on the right into Ockbrook. Brake lights ahead, what would that prompt you to do?
You're a check.
That's it. Because it should be, oh, why are they braking?
Yeah.
How could this affect me? Could you pull up on the left at a safe, legal and convenient place, please? Cheers. Alright. Nothing but good stuff there. Okay. Right. But really, I want to see you now respond to this environment based on what we've spoke about when you're ready.
Just one thing, I thought that that speed limit changed when I went into 30.
Yeah.
I felt I was a bit too slowing down, if you get me. Like I felt I was doing a lot.
You was right on it. You mean?
Yeah, I was right on the limit. I was right on the...
On 30, at 30?
Yeah, yeah.
So do you think it'd be better and nicer to have an earlier... Do you know what?
To be honest, when I saw that sign through the bush, I thought it said 40.
Did you?
Yeah, just because that bush was clear, and then as I went round the corner, I was easing down to 40, but then obviously I had to quickly to 30.
It's a good point, and it's worth talking about, because I think sometimes you could do with spending longer off the gas before you brake.
Yeah.
Yourself, personally. Again, I used to approach things fast, I did, before I undertook all this, and I still see that in little parts, but less and less every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say, I think less speed, less space. So yes, you see the signs round the corner through the bush, not sure what they are, but the road, as you look down, when you saw them cars braking, there's another clue, does narrow up.
Yeah.
So let's anyway just prepare the speed for the space anyway, and yeah, get it a bit more comfortable. If we're already doing 30 at a couple of car lengths before, we've got a bit of room for error then, haven't we? If we build that into the natural, normal way that we approach these things, yeah. That's the trouble, isn't it? You can't. It's like the ones on Acorn Way. If you're coming down towards Asda, for example, that way.
You don't see them until you're literally on them, do you?
I mean, we know it's 40 there because
Yeah.
we're local, but if you didn't, you wouldn't know until you get reasonably close. There's ones on the A6 where it drops to 50 from the 70, and
that's probably the one of the worst, because you literally come around the corner and it's there.
that's a full 20 mile an hour that you've got to just
Sweet, yeah.
and you can't really, you know. So you would just have to deal if you were on a part 2 test and you come up to an area like that you didn't know of, you just have to do the very best job you can and hope that you're paying maximum attention at the point where you first could spot it.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Effective mirror use and smooth speed reduction.
Yeah.
Giving early signals and whatnot, long signals. Yeah, good point. Yeah, drive on when it's safe. So do you think you'll be alright with that going forwards?
I think so.
Yeah. So if I leave you with that from now on?
Yeah.
What do you know about gears and downhill then, before we start going down? Good man.
Lower gear.
That's it. I'm sure you've had that on your theory questions.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
It's planning at the top though, isn't it? Once you start getting the downhill momentum, if you put your clutch down, change gear on the downhill, it ain't really going to do it the same. Because just the clutch down for 1 second is
You can build up enough speed.
Yeah.
You probably go up a bit more.
Yeah, to counteract it completely. Take the next road on the right, please, Rich. So far it's all been driving test routes that I've actually took you on,
Okay.
just so that you know. Always a little tricky bit there, that bit.
Yeah. Especially because you get lorries and that coming up here.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to get just a rough overview of each part of driving with you. I won't be able to get every single part, but
Yeah.
just give you a little feedback to go on with, really, until we start diving into it into much deeper detail. How are you getting on with your new car, Rich?
Yeah, it's nice. Starting to really get to grips with it now and
Yeah.
everything like that.
What's your average fuel consumption?
I got up to 54.7 a day.
Oh, so it stayed there? It stayed around there?
No, that was motorway driving. But around town and it gets up to about 42.
It's not bad.
So it's not too bad.
It's not bad. And for those watching, what car have you bought for your instructor car?
Nissan Pulsar. So it's a 1.2.
Yeah.
But it's
And what model?
that's the Nissan Pulsar. That's the.
Oh, sorry. I mean, what year? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. 2015 it is.
Yeah. At the end of the road, turn left, please, and then take the immediate right. Better with the steering. Try and use both hands more as we go forwards now. Just so that one hand isn't sort of tied up or doing the majority of the steer and you've got your hands locked. What's the danger if the airbag were to go off?
Potentially could.
And your arms over?
Smash. Could break me arm, couldn't it? I don't know.
Yeah. break your face for sure. 'Cause it's meant to be the airbag that hits your face, isn't it? But if your arm's there, that airbag's going to whack your arm into
I think my using of the steering wheel and this is just potential. It's just habit.
Yes. So keep thinking about it. It's not like it has to be a certain way. Just to clarify that, it doesn't. But you will be expected on part 2 to demonstrate a higher expert handling of the controls, let's say, you know. And also, if you know how it works best, you'll be able to help your customers who are struggling with stuff.
Yeah, I think it's years of driving with one hand is the is the culprit.
Of course. One hand down here. I'll rest in the
like that.
Why is it important that that car is slightly left then?
This is quite a tight.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a bigger tractor, maybe lorry.
That was my next question, because it's that type of road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. I wonder why you steered right. You see that?
No, I didn't know. No.
So, that driver's still at 24. What sort of...
Probably elderly.
Yeah, so what should we do with our space, do you think?
Increase it?
Yeah. Because probably by driving that bit closer, not that it was close, but because they weren't picking up speed the way that we normally would predict that people would,
Yeah.
we'd naturally get a little closer.
I'd probably get close quicker than I realised.
Yeah. But the skill here is to drop back, because again, if you did have the facility, not that we're always looking for overtake, we're not.
No.
But if it's safe and legal and we can make progress and they're unreasonable, we're in a better position to overtake and see the road ahead further back, aren't we?
Yeah.
As long as it's within reason. But also, we don't want to mount the pressure on them by driving close to them.
Yeah.
Because you'll see them people get obsessed with the centre mirror, and then you'll see their positioning start getting all messed up and everything. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. People just looking at you in the mirror and then
They're not focusing on what they're doing then, are they? So it could be dangerous for all of you as a result. You see, this isn't a business-like manner in which they're driving. They're doing a constant 36 in a 40, which is irritating.
Yeah.
And it's going to cause overtaking, isn't it? And that's... I've not really had that problem with you, but normally when I do instructor training, that's a big thing that I have to overcome with people, is get them making proper progress.
Yeah.
Get them up to speed when it's safe and legal. Anyway, let you concentrate now. Centre mirror there. So as you see the bend and you think, right, I'm going to be easy enough for that bend. That's a speed change coming up for me. So let's see if we can spot the next speed change between us. We'd generally be updating every 5 to 8 seconds anyway, just so we're always clued up as to what's around us, because things can change, things can turn off and whatnot. So that could pull out, so be centre mirror. And I'd ease back a little bit as well. What's the minimum following distance? I believe we've got it, and it doesn't come into force till 40 mile an hour actually as well, that rule. Do you know what rule I'm talking about?
Yeah, the 2 second.
Yes.
2 second rule, isn't it?
Now, what's the speed limit? I've probably been distracting you there.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
I realised just before you said that, to be fair.
Yeah, good. Because these now are doing 40.
Yeah.
A full on 40, now it's actually 30. The logic, eh? So, what mirror are you going to check?
Check centre mirror.
Why have you checked it?
Because I went round that car.
Also,
and
you're
coming up to a bend.
Yeah. At the end of the road, we're going to turn right. So what do you anticipate?
Braking in front.
Mm-hmm. The first thing there was speeding up a little bit after that 30.
Right.
So I'd be in the mirrors there, and try and only signal about 6 car lengths from the junction, so it's meaningful. Depends on how fast you're going. If you're going faster, you might signal earlier. Roundabout, turn left, first exit. That's good, we've got a couple of car lengths that time.
Yeah.
Now I'd like you to follow signs for Stoke, if you could. Stoke A50. To increase them brakes, aren't you?
Yeah. Signs for the A514 now.
next road on the right, please. And pull up on the left at a safe place, please. Cheers. Right. How did you find that little drive? A bit quicker there in terms of what we did?
That was okay.
Yeah. A few bits to note down. So what did we say about following that? We thought it was an elderly driver. We don't know. Well, maybe you know. Maybe you saw the driver. I didn't. What did we need to just keep reminding ourselves a little bit there?
Just to keep good distance.
Yeah.
Because potentially not going to react, or they're going to think if we're a bit close, checking the mirror, and they're going to not be paying attention to the front.
That's it.
As much.
So keep distance. If the driver in front's slow, really, the last thing you want to do is get close to them, because there might be a reason why they're slow. They might be having a heart attack or something. It might be. You don't know, do you? Literally anything could be happening in that car. If you're close, you don't have time to react should something happen. If car in front is slow, basically just monitor your distance. There was the speed. I'll just put 35 in a 30.
Yeah.
And then loads of good stuff there, but I just want to go over the bits that we need to improve in really for now. Gears. Went round that big long bend in 6th. You know, the one where it says max speed 30, but it's only an advisory.
Yeah.
We went round it must have been about 40 odd, I think.
About 41.
Yeah, and that's fine. But we want a bit more engine braking as we go round.
Okay.
Because it just felt like the car was kind of pulling a bit. Because you know, if you're in 6th, it only asks for 6th at around 46 mile an hour on this car.
So drop it down to 5th would have been...
I think 5th would have been better, more appropriate there. This car's really responsive anyway, and because you're an experienced driver, you'll know that for that slip road, to put your foot actually to the floor if it's not responding. And I'm sure that's what you did there to get it actually, or something similar, to get it actually speeding up much more than it already was. But in the lower gear as well, again for your customers and stuff as well, that's going to give them more
control with the speed and stuff,
and more ability to get that speed up more quickly because it's the lower gear. Alright, so just consider dropping the gears for bends and make sure it's at a position where you've got the engine braking for the whole of the bend, or at least as you approach the sharpest bit.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be careful mid-bend, because you're clutch down then, aren't you? You could start, if it's down, then you could start picking up speed. And alright, so gears before bends, I'll put a question mark, because that's something you need to consider. It's not something you definitely do, but more often than not, yes. Okay, so signal, just when you're changing lanes, just try and keep the signal on for the duration of the manoeuvre. So basically when you're coming from one lane to the next, what a lot of people do is they'll cancel it when they're midway across. But now, because we're getting you to more of an advanced driver, let's get you so that you're doing your whole manoeuvre, you've completed the manoeuvre, you've landed square in your new lane, and cancel. Done. That's the manoeuvre finished then. Only then is it finished. Otherwise people might think that you've changed your mind mid-manoeuvre and start speeding up towards the space. So it's a worst case scenario, but we want to make everything absolutely clear as to what we're doing. So keep signal on. Lane changes. Then the other thing is signalling on the approach to junctions. Do you remember how many car lengths we said we should aim for?
6 or 8. 6.
6 as usual, but if there's a reason to go on.
8 if it's a bit quicker.
If it's quicker, because there's less time involved anyway. So if you're approaching a junction at 40, 50, well we might signal a bit earlier. And if there's no side roads and houses and driveways, the only thing that it could mean is that we're pulling in.
Yeah.
So there's less reason to confuse people, and that's why I'm saying this, really. You know, make the signal meaningful and make sure people know exactly what it is for, and if it's near what it's for and the speed's usual, it'll be obvious.
Okay.
All right. But and I think the other thing is, when you do your MS PSL routine, you haven't got to go mirrors, signal, and right through with the whole routine. You might check the mirrors early and decide when to give a signal.
Right.
You see what I mean?
So it's not straight after.
It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be merged into one, because that's what it is, really, isn't it? Deciding when.
Yeah.
That's why we use mirror signal manoeuvre, so we can decide whether a signal's necessary, and we can decide if we need to give them more time to react to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 6, I'll put 6 or 8 car lengths. If you think there's reason to do 10, do 10.
Okay.
If it's a certain one, it's not black or white. There's shades of grey as well, but
yeah.
these are just generals. We've just done a big loop, basically. We're back to where we started in a bit, and we'll get into a bit of instructing then.
Okay.
How are you finding this okay? This format?
Yeah, it's helpful.
Certainly digging a bit deeper, isn't it, as to what you're up to?
Yeah.
And it's already seen loads of improvements already. Steering's improved. I'll just make a note on there. I see it improving using both hands. You know. The other thing is, when you've got your right hand over here, we talked about dangers with the airbag.
The airbag, yeah.
It has to be a certain speed for the airbag to go off in the first place.
Yeah.
But if your hand's over here and you need to steer right, well, that would be better here, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you needed to swerve out the way for something, for whatever reason, as I say, you turn into a corner and you didn't spot something, and you turn in, it's like, well, that right hand's over here. Then that's got to come all the way up and then down. It's here.
Yeah.
Let's take, work. Both hands are better than one.
Yeah.
To get that off quicker, depending on what it is you're doing. Anyway, any questions or thoughts on that?
But it was okay on coming off junction, quicker roads and that, was it?
Yeah. Good progress, good road positioning, good awareness on there. I like the fact that you got up to speed on the slip road. You didn't go too slow on the bend. You're getting up to speed nicely. You're using block changes. Signal timing was good, 300-yard marker. The approach to the roundabout, we did what's called a phantom gear change.
Right.
So you went from, was it 6 to 2, I think, but didn't brake enough to warrant getting the clutch up that bit earlier to approach with second gear clutch up into the point where you could see when we approached that last big roundabout.
Yeah.
So really, we did all the gear change. We were kind of not coasting, because you had your foot on the brake, you had control, but we didn't do anything with the gear change.
So it was just pointless, yeah.
Kind of, yeah, because we only went and don't go straight to first anyway, but the point is, because it's more closed on the approach, and I think it's on purpose to slow traffic down, that big green hedge on the right, you need to be slower that bit earlier, so when that window of observation comes in, Rich is in a position to fully utilise it at a speed where he could still make progress and go.
Yeah, so if I was rolling a bit slower in second,
a bit earlier,
I could potentially just go.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
Potentially. Look, you might not, but you'd have great success doing it that way.
Yeah.
Second gear is a bit better, isn't it, really, than dropping back to first and
having
to reset and find a bite and whatever, get it going. Plus, it'll use more fuel that way.
I mean, potentially I could have dropped it into second and come to a stop and then put it into first.
Yes. Because that's even still more optimistic than what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, because if I've got to stop anyway, it's got to go back into first for me to pull off.
You're dead right. And that's what I say to people, because learners will put gears off because they know they're going to change again in a minute. I'll say, well, your clutch is still going to go down regardless.
Yeah.
So you might as well change on the...
I haven't got to always roll in first, have I? Can roll in second and then decide what gear you need.
Because if the roll's fast enough, you can put the clutch down or halfway down momentarily and re-engage.
Yeah.
If you wanted to,
Yeah.
which would still possibly be better and smoother, as long as the car's not struggling, than dropped into first.
Yeah.
And more economic.
Okay.
All right, good there, good. Oh, and one more thing. When you was coming round that roundabout, the roundabout's quite a fast-paced one. You know, we exited for Derby Chellaston A514.
Yeah.
We had to cross a lane completely to get across, didn't we?
Yeah.
We've got the exit before, which brings people out from the pub, the Bonnie Prince, and into that new estate and whatnot there. For me there could be a car at the side of you already. So you might check your mirrors and not see it.
Yeah.
So I think because you've got to cross a lane to exit, and you've almost got to, if there was as you come round, if there was a car, you'd have to do this. And that car could be going straight on for its second exit. Could have just come out the one before, rolled out faster, we're slowing because we're coming off. Do you see how that could be a meeting?
Yeah.
Right? So all I would say there is consider a quick sideways glance. Not a blind spot check, for God's sake.
Just
Yeah.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you had a double take in your left mirror, which is better.
Yeah.
But if they stay in the same position, you still wouldn't see them.
Yeah.
But if you just go check, 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 just a very quick one, of course, that's all the possibilities ironed out then. So with the sideways glance,
So I wouldn't really move into that lane to go around, would I? I would just crossing that lane is okay because I am coming off there.
Yeah.
But it's just making sure that no one's obviously in that spot where I can't really see in my mirror.
Yes, exactly. You can't go in the left-hand lane the whole way there because the roundabout's so big. It is, and you're passing loads of exit. It is like a right turn.
Yeah.
But you could almost argue it's almost straight on. Like if you move the roundabout and draw a straight line straight across, it's only slightly off. You know, from where you've come from, pretty much. But in the left-hand lane, you'd confuse everybody. You'd fail a part two, probably. I'm just trying to address what you said because you could change if you had local knowledge. You could change lanes as you're going round. Do a lane change to the left, and you know it's a safer exit. Then you could do that.
So you could do that.
If you knew the roundabout and you thought, well, this poses a bit of risk doing that. You know, it's legal to do it the way it was.
Yeah.
And it's the way the roundabout's designed. It's really a poor
the way
design.
I did it was the proper way, but obviously just having that extra check.
Or it wouldn't have been wrong to have changed to the left after you passed the first 2 exits.
Yeah, so
maybe.
There's that one, there's that one, then there's...
Because you took 4th, didn't you?
4th, yeah, so potentially where you come off for that pub, before that one I could have moved over to the left.
Exactly. Because there's a long stretch there where there isn't any entries and exits, so it would be less complicated to change.
Yeah.
Change lanes because you've got to be careful swapping signals on roundabouts, haven't you? You know, so if you start signalling left and you're near a point where you could exit, but you're only lane changing.
Yeah. And obviously I don't want to be signalling right and then move over as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you wouldn't, would you? You couldn't.
No.
That'd be very confusing.
So I think the easiest option is just having that extra look to your left.
Here's one for you. Let's say you check your mirrors, and it looks good. You got your left signal, and you have a sideways glance. You see a car. There isn't much time left. What would you do? What would be the safest thing to do? You're right near the exit.
Potentially go around the island again.
Go around again. That's the beauty of being in the right-hand lane. And tell your learners that as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's no panic there. And it's not a bad idea to practice getting it wrong either. Practice getting it wrong and see what you do. See how you deal with it and see. Because what a lot of people then do is forget to signal the second time around and keep everybody informed as to where they're going.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Did I get that? Looking. I'll just put consider. Sideways glance. when crossing lanes. There's one. I'll tell you with the other one that I think that's necessary. You know, if you come from Pride Park, those who aren't from Derby won't have a clue what I'm talking about. But if you come from Pride Park and you come towards the roundabout where you turn right,
Costco on your left.
yeah,
Big one.
yeah, it's 4th exit you take. You know, because there's the entry onto the roundabout from Toys R Us, which is so close to the one to get towards.
Yeah.
Well, they start moving at the side of you as you're about to steer off left.
I've had that.
And so for me, I'm always centre, left, sideways. I need to know nobody's in that left lane.
I've had that
I've
before,
got to
yeah.
cross over.
Yeah.
You're still in the right at that point, aren't you?
I just ran my foot down and got
Just
a bit wrong with it, but yeah. Yeah, I've had that. Yeah, I've had that where it could, because people come round that island, if they're coming from the first exit, they come round in the outside lane to go to that exit you're coming off at, and you kind of meet, because there is a filter in there, but
there is.
You both go in at the same.
The car's in the right. This is the trouble with using the filter. Because you're on the right hand lane, if you move out late, it looks like you're not exiting.
Yeah.
So yes, if the roundabout was designed nice, you'd exit later, come into the right, and then merge in the new road, which is how it's designed to. But you can't really, because it gives the impression you're not exiting. And if them cars in that left aren't exiting and carry on going around, and then you go,
which they do.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got to really plan it out, really, haven't you?
Yeah, that's quite a tricky one actually, that island.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
It is if you're trying to do it properly, and you're looking out for people that, you've got to look out for all the people that, because in everybody's mind they're doing it properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bet it's been an eye opener, hasn't it, watching other people's driving?
I've started to notice a lot more stuff. Yeah, especially on doing a lot of motorway driving the last couple of days, and people don't do 70 on the motorway anymore. 80, 90 is the. I'm doing 70 because I've set my cruise control yesterday. Yeah. And literally, I feel like I'm doing about 40.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You even get lorries. You know, the worst one I've seen. You know, if the roadworks, it's 50.
Yeah, I know.
Lorries don't slow down for them.
I know.
I don't know why.
And so they're passing you, aren't they, in lane 2, and it's like it shouldn't be happening, should it?
I don't know if they've got different rules or for them cameras don't work, but
yeah, the yellow ones. I don't know. And have you noticed the sheer amount of driving instructors in Derby now that you're? We'll talk about the driving instructors in Derby. Now that you're driving around, have you seen the amount of competition out there?
Yeah.
A lot of instructors. But it's not going to matter anyway, because you're going to be in the elite top group of instructors when you qualify. Right, Rich. Drive on when you're ready. Take the next road on the left, just after the red post box. You know, like the last bit of that left steer then?
Yeah.
Bring that left hand up higher so it's still actually working.
Okay.
Although it was very, very accurate, so that's just best practice from me to you, right? When you reach the end of the road, turn right. Do you think you'd have gone in your own car?
Potentially.
change those things. Yeah. Because you still would want to go when it's safe in your own car, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well done, Rich. Yeah, his body language didn't suggest it, did he? But you were more switched on than he were. But again, we'd expect that because he's a youngster, isn't he? He's not really thinking. He's always thinking about he's getting back and playing Pokemon, isn't he? On his last week of the 6 weeks. So well done, yeah, good awareness, good speed, good mirror work, etc. there. Yeah, talking about that junction, Rich, make progress.
Yeah.
If you would get gone and it feels like, yeah, just act on it, get your gas on, start efforts getting that clutch to bite. And at the roundabout we're going to go ahead, second exit. Make it as soon as you spot the hazard, straight in the centre mirror.
Yeah.
As soon as you saw that orange car, then should be straight in the centre, then the right, because that's ultimately the actions you're going to take, and if around the bus and whatnot. Ahead here, second exit, straight in the centre mirror. Good. So just so I know, you know, Rich, what's the deal with the lane positioning on them roundabouts? And what's the deal there? What do we? You did it all really well, but
that was potentially only one. There was no 2 lanes there, so
that's it.
You know, you can go over in the centre if you like.
That's it. And the one before, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good discipline there. Better than the previous session, I believe. Well done. In terms of the speed. So there, looking at that, I'd have gone third gear, clutch up. You know, before that sharp bend, ahead here, straight up. And I think some of these roundabouts as well could be done in third. You know, so because sometimes you might be slowing them more than you need to.
Yeah.
So consider third, just for eco reasons and for keeping the traffic moving, smooth and everything, you know. Smooth traffic flow, smooth drive. It is national along here until we get to the 40. I think I distracted you coming off there. Take the next left, please, Rich. Just looking for that clutch a little earlier and the brake, just generally speaking, that is. And I think the same with them bends, which is why we went to go, I think you went to go third, then you went to fourth.
Yeah.
And I think third was the one for them bends. Because it just felt a touch quick, not much, but just a touch. And the last bend highlighted it. So all I want you to do is turn around here. Just use the space to turn around. And I just want to look at your control and where you're looking when you're reversing. Alright, because I know you've been reading the essential skills, you've been watching the videos. So anyway, like, it's not a dead set manoeuvre, this isn't. I just want to look at how you're doing stuff. when we get going, just pull up on the left, probably just after the van, to be honest, if you could, Rich. That'd be great. Cheers. I didn't want to get lost with things.
Yeah.
A few things happened back there, and I thought if we get onto the bigger roundabouts and whatnot, we won't have no opportunity to talk about them.
Okay.
Yeah, so the bends really on the country road, how could you improve that in terms of engine braking, control?
A bit slower.
Bit slower. It means you're braking, you seem to be braking early enough, but I think it's the last second, the last bit of squeeze at the end. Squeeze it that bit harder, which will allow you to get that clutch up, that just get off it that bit sooner.
Yeah.
Let's say that that button's the turn.
Mhm.
There's the curb peeling round to the left. You want to have your left foot off the clutch with the gear engaged about here. You wouldn't,
just before I start to turn.
you wouldn't turn till about actually there.
Yeah.
But about here.
Mhm.
You see, when we come round that bend, it's downhill as well. We'd only just really come off. So I think just making sure that you've always got a bit of room for error. If there is, I don't know, that caravan just starting to reverse out, well, then we're going to be at more of an advantage there.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, we're not too slow, but it's only a little tweak you need to make. All right.
Yeah.
Same with the bends. So what I might do, I might give you a bit of guidance if I come towards some other bends. I'm not sure actually we will today. Now, based on what we're doing, but so I'm going to put gears before bends. I'll put third question mark, and then I'll put in brackets country road.
Yeah.
Again, it's car specific. Good work with the single lane roundabouts, although I did think the first one you come up to with a white Mercedes could have just popped into third there
Okay.
and just kept going. Try and read their speed and position.
I got the impression that he was turning right.
Did you?
Yeah, I just felt like he was. Obviously he wasn't, but I just felt like the way he was pointing.
That's fair enough.
Which is why I kind of obviously slowed down a bit.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Ready to stop, but yeah.
Better to be safe than sorry, but the more we start assessing speed and position and types of roundabout and where they've come from and the probabilities, and we start looking more in depth, you'll get better and better at judging that. So yeah, that's it really, isn't it? And actually, gears before bends, yes, but a bit harder, squeeze harder at the end of the braking, slightly. Or maybe come off the gas earlier before you start braking, which would get rid of that extra little bit anyway.
Okay.
Hopefully when you look back at this you'll understand it all. When there's a little dash in front of each sentence, that means it's not the second line of the same thing. Yeah. Okay then, Rich. Any thoughts?
Just like I say, it's just remembering to slow down. I think that's the issue. Just being a bit slower around bends and stuff and junctions.
Mm-hmm.
Because you a little bit extra.
Because then you've got the option to accelerate out of the bend.
Yeah.
But that's your choice then. You're not already approaching the bend potentially. It's okay if nothing happens, but if something does happen, there's a car overtaking a cyclist on the bend or something daft, potentially a bit quick to react.
Yeah.
Potentially. Not saying you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, so yeah. Alright.
Yep, that's fine.
So we'll drive on when you're ready. We'll turn left at the T-junction at the end. When you get to the roundabout, I'd like you to then turn right, please. Third exit.
Okay.
have them feet set first, yeah? Gas as well. I know you did realise, but you still didn't have the gas set till you actually moved off. Nice, powerful, clean takeoff as soon as handbrake goes off. So bring that left hand back up higher. So yeah, turning right here, third exit. Turning left at the next roundabout. First exit. Keep turning that left hand, place it higher. On this road for around 2 miles. Keep the signal on. Yeah. 6 out. Even only now have we really completed that.
Yeah.
So we want to be telling people that we're manoeuvring. You know, we are manoeuvring. So don't expect us to be potentially, you know, speeding up or anything as we're doing it. We might be. So keep that signal on until we've completed it. That's it. Slightly different when you signal left. Coming back in, there might be times where it's not even necessary to signal on those ones. But for now, let's just keep it as that. So if you ease off the gas now, knowing from local knowledge what's around the corner.
Yeah.
You know when you were speeding up earlier back there?
Yeah.
Just want to get inside your mind a little bit and just understand why you went from 3 to 5 but then straight to 6 without engaging 5. Was that deliberate? Was it meant to, or?
No, I just I went to go 3 to 6, but just naturally went to 5 for some reason.
Only blocking 2. I think jumps of 3 is too many.
Okay.
It tends to struggle a little.
So 3 to 5.
3 to 5 and then 5 to 6. Or a good one is 2 to 4, 4 to 6. Or 3 to 5, 5 to 6, whatever. Change lanes, one to the right please when it's safe. Keep the signal on until, well, you show me when. Fantastic. Now a little update in your centre mirror. See what's coming in this lane. Now that we're actually in it. Because if that weren't turning, that silver one would be swerving into our lane, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
When you get to the roundabout at the end, turn right, third exit. That's good there. Directional change, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I definitely needed the right mirror before you did, and you did. I like how you're keeping this gap big but not too big, you know.
Yeah.
because you're not going to see a lot if you're really close to that, are you?
No.
That big mass. And also, if it rolls back,
Potentially could roll into it if it was too close.
yeah, and would he even see you
No.
if you were dead close?
I think the rule is if you can see their mirrors, they can see you.
Yeah.
That's
By the roundabout coming up, we're going to go ahead for Borough Wash, third exit. We're doing well, Rich. Do you feel like your driving's drastically improving?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I don't think it was too bad anyway, to be honest, when I first when I first started training. You alright with this, yeah?
Yeah.
Well. That worked quite nicely in third, didn't it?
Yeah, because I still was at speed if I needed to stop.
Yeah. Good awareness coming around there as well. Lots of possibilities where people mess around a bit around there, really.
Yeah, the car behind came around me. She was like technically like a lane over.
In both lanes, yeah, they always are. Ahead, second exit here, please. Talking about U-turns. Late signal, weren't it?
Yeah.
The other thing that could catch people out because they were coming reasonably quick.
Yeah, and that island you can go over in both lanes.
Exactly.
So potentially she was going over till the signal popped on.
The speed suggested it. I would have done exactly the same as you there. I'd have been ready to go, going. I think what you could also practice with is just being a bit more thorough and quicker, getting your revs on.
Yeah.
You know, just getting that place with your foot where you just go set, and it's just the right amount, you know.
Just finding that perfect.
Because I think you kind of get it as you get to the bite, but you want it just before you get to the bite. And I think if you just improve that speed in which you get there, that'll do that.
Yeah.
Road on the left. See the road first, and then you can judge how many car lengths. So what are you looking for, identifying a junction from afar then?
The paint on the road.
Yep.
The curb peeling away.
Yep.
And obviously anyone coming in and out.
Just pull up on the right in between the two white cars, please. Cheers. Right. So, how do you feel about everything that we've done and gone over?
I feel like I've gone a bit backwards.
Do you?
Yeah.
Don't forget, this is the most in-depth look we've had, and we've explored all areas.
Yeah, because our first two sessions...
Not all, but...
Our first two sessions, I thought I was a bit better than what I was today.
When
Maybe that's me, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, but
yeah.
I felt like I've gone a little bit backwards with my polishing of my driving.
Well, I don't at all. The fact that you care so much is important. But you haven't, honestly. We've done 25 miles. We've been driving for a good hour. Maybe a little longer. So that's a lot different to what we've done before.
Yeah.
You've got to remember that. And we've been in all sorts, country roads, various road and traffic conditions, big roundabouts, fast roads,
Yeah.
changing lanes. Yeah, so don't you worry about that. That's what this is all about.
Okay.
So now you'll be able to go off and make sure that these don't happen.
Yeah.
Is there any parts of these that you don't understand, or when you read it back that you can't read?
No.
I bet you can read it better than your own writing, can't you, Richard?
Yeah, you've seen my writing, ain't you? No, that's fine. That is, yeah. I'll take this out with me when I think what I'm going to start doing now is taking this out with me because I've not been doing that. When I do my free driving, taking this with me.
Yes. Totally a good idea. What you want to do, you want to set yourself a goal. Set yourself little mini goals. So the first goal, you'll go out and say, well, in this drive, I'm going to make sure that this box is taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm doing that majoritively well. Or if I'm forgetting it, I'm going through that system to myself, ID, Analyze, Remedy.
Yeah.
Start adding that one in, and then that one, and work your way through so that you can measure your progress. If you set a goal, you can always measure your progress and know how you're doing in relation to achieving that goal.
Okay.
All right. So I think that's it. Do you want me to probably good to pop a date on there? Actually?
Yeah. That's right.
It's just a bit of an assessment, really. What's the date today? Is it the 29th or 30th?
20. Don't know.
It's nearly mortgage day, I know that.
29th.
Alright, good stuff there, Rich. I'm quite happy with all that.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, and we'll take a little break now and we'll get into the next part after that.